Beans and Breakdowns, a podcast dedicated to bridging the gap between specialty coffee and the heavy music community. On this episode, I'm joined by Derryk Esquivel, also known as DerykWithaY, from the band postdr0me. So grab a fresh cup of coffee and wake the fuck up! What's going on, caffeinated crew? Today, I feel truly blessed and highly favored to be able to tell you who is joining me. It's a long time. He's an alum. He's like the fourth episode ever on the podcast. It's Derryk with a Y.
Oh, gee, what is up?
You're like a true believer. A true believer.
Yeah, dude.
You said yes when no one else would. You had no evidence of any podcast that was going to come out.
I was like, yeah, dude, whatever.
Like, this sounds fun. Like,
I was excited, dude. I mean, you sometimes you see something that someone else doesn't.
There was no evidence. There was not even a single episode out, and
it was like, an energy. It was a vibe. I felt it through the email.
It was kind of a real recognize real moment where it's like true chillers unite.
Right. Exactly.
Well, I already asked you this question, but just for the sake of everyone.
Yeah.
How have you been?
Dude, I've been good. I've been great. It's been a long, 4 years. Almost 4 years since we've talked last. Things are good. Chilling, vibing. How about yourself?
Same.
Yeah.
A lot of job stuff that's different now.
Yeah.
A lot of, we both have bands.
Yes, that's a big thing. We have bands, elbow tattoos, and barbed wire tattoos.
And barbed wire wrist, just like general tough guy stuff.
Exactly.
For two people that are in no way, shape, or form tough at all.
Dude, exactly. I got them so that maybe one day I could be tough and it match. Maybe one day I'll just harden up and match my tattoos, but until then, whatever.
Just get on that Huberman swag, do a 75 hard, and
yeah, exactly. I'm gonna read a book today. I don't know.
Literally anytime I see a video where they're like, I'm trying 75 hard, and then they describe the 75 things, I'm like,
you're like, oh,
I'm not gonna do any of that.
That is hard, and that is 75 things.
It truly is a 75. I want the 75 soft.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, lay on the couch. All right, I got you.
Watch 75 movies every day. Hell yeah, I got you, pimp.
Yeah, it's like, oh, dude, I'm gonna crush this. I'm gonna do 3 rounds.
Drink 75 liters of Coca-Cola. I can do that.
Yeah, whatever you need. Light work.
I know that we were talking a little bit about you last time.
Yeah.
You had like moved to LA.
Yeah.
Not long after.
Yeah.
Did you enjoyed your time though?
Yeah, dude. LA is a sick spot. LA is, I think we had talked about this a little bit the last time. But like music just happens in LA for whatever reason. If it's just tours that go, whatever happens, it happens there at least at some point. And it's just like the mecca of music culture. I love it. It was amazing, but goddamn, is it expensive.
You were working out there?
I was still just doing this like TikTok and everything else. I worked at Best Buy before. That was what I was doing. I was doing like the retail grind.
Gotta love it.
Yeah, dude, the best.
Well, I know that you're back in Denver.
Yes.
It probably feels less hectic.
Yeah, less hectic, less pressure. It's not like, when you walk out your front door, it's not like, movie stars and famous people everywhere you go. Don't get me wrong, like it's cool. You see like I saw Andre 3000 one day. I was like, well, I don't know. That was crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you see a lot of people like that, but in in Denver, it's a lot less of a worrying that you're gonna bump into somebody.
Might see Tim Tebow. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no. When I working at Best Buy, I ran into all kinds of like hockey players and basketball players, football players. Athletes. That's about it though.
Just professional. Like I
Yeah,
feel like
exactly.
Denver has nothing but like three major pro sports
Dude,
teams.
we have the pro sports and an airport, and that's all you need.
Yo, so I've been to the airport once
Yeah.
and I was trying to find the spooky murals and I couldn't find them. I don't think I had enough time to walk three
Yeah.
miles down into the earth. But I was trying to be able to go see at least the horse statue, and I didn't see it
Yeah.
until I got on the runway in the plane.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was like,
Exactly. Like, oh,
oh, he really that big?
yeah, exactly. It's big, has red glowing eyes.
Do you think it's Illuminati?
I don't know. Honestly, there's something happening there. And I know they're like kind of leaning into it. They're like, yeah, like we're I don't know what they think they whatever they're leaning into, like aliens or something with like I don't know what they think. But yeah, there's something happening there. It's a vibe. It's a weird vibe in that place.
I feel like of all places, it doesn't make sense for Denver. It makes more sense for Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
Like, notably, Mormons are
Yeah.
like doomsday peoples. Um,
Exactly.
they control a lot of wealth in the United States.
Yeah, dude, you that's the whole thing. They're using it as a front.
It's a decoy.
Yeah.
It's a decoy airport. We built this giant airport and made all these rumors that are kind
Yeah.
of true. And then there's actually a real airport in Salt Lake
Yeah.
City that you don't know about
It's the real underground bunker.
with the weird like fenced areas and like spooky New World Order murals and
Right,
stuff.
exactly. Something about a Quaker. I don't know.
No, no, no. We're peaceful. We wear
Yeah.
underpants under our real clothes,
Yeah.
but like,
Don't look at us. It's in
no, no, no.
Denver.
It's not us.
Yeah.
Do you have coffee?
Yes. I have my I love Beaver mug from Beaver, Utah. Speaking of.
You down with the Utes?
Yeah, I guess so. You know what they say. You go through Beaver, Utah, you grab an I love Beaver mug. You got to do it.
I mean, that's you gotta do. You gotta. Here in Montreal or in Quebec,
Mhm.
we're known for a specific dessert.
Yeah.
It's fried dough topped with things.
Yeah.
It's called beaver tail.
Hell yeah.
And so there's a running joke of like that sweet Canadian beaver tail, which is highly disgusting to me. Both
Yeah.
dessert and in
The
sentiment.
insinuation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing about this is good. Okay. We need to stop this.
just cancel it.
Yeah. Hey, everyone stop talking about this, please.
Yeah, just collectively. In French, it's different. It's like a cul de castor, I think is how you pronounce it in French.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's another thing that's changed. I learned a lot of French.
Ah, great. I mean, yeah, because you came from Georgia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Georgia to Montreal, big change.
What?
South of the south of the south.
South of the South. I had been in Montreal for 4 years when we had talked, about
Mhm.
4 years.
Yeah.
But then I hadn't really like spent time learning because I was working a job where I was
Yeah.
traveling all the time.
Yeah.
So once I was like, oh, I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah. I am in Canada.
So I started taking classes. I'm in school now. So I'm taking
Yeah.
like an actual college French course.
That's amazing.
It stinks.
Yeah. I'm sure it's like all like the linguist, like the actual like the
Grammars and
exactly. Yeah. You're doing the learner level
I,
stuff.
I just went like the Quebec crash course where it's like, this is how you say all the useful things that don't make sense.
Exactly. Here's all the slang words. Here's all the curse words.
I said a Quebec curse word in class one day, and the teacher got really upset. Um, and she was like, "That's a blaspheme," and I was like, "Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm just
I
learning.
don't
I don't
know.
know."
Exactly.
I
Yeah,
heard somebody
teach
else.
me.
I heard somebody else say it. I didn't know I wasn't
Yeah.
supposed to say that.
So this is mimicry. I know what I've been told. That's it.
I'm just ignorant, so uh, can't blame that one
God.
on me.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, are you drinking decaf from the lobby?
No, not this time. This time I've upgraded. We are drinking normal. What is this? This is I think this is Costco brand espresso beans,
Oh,
if I'm not mistaken. Because we did, I was doing was it Lavazza?
Lavazza, yeah.
Yeah, I was drinking that forever, but then they stopped carrying it, so now they only have their, or for at least when we went last, they only had Costco brand
So
espresso.
it's alarming the price they're able to charge for a bag of coffee that big.
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying. They get the like some of the place. I mean, like local roasters, I can understand like some of the places here just because they're so. It's like small, like
Mhm.
small scale places. But yeah, I'm like, I think that's probably why they probably stopped selling them, to be honest with you, because their
Has to be.
pricing was insane.
Well, this bag that I bought from a local roaster
Mm,
was like $25,
mm,
and it's like a pound.
yeah,
But I know that the price for pound, I work for a coffee roaster now. The price per
yeah.
pound for this coffee is like right now it's almost $11 a pound
Wow.
or $12. And historically
Yeah,
this has been like a $10 a pound coffee almost. So
yeah,
around that's
yeah,
ballpark. But this
yeah,
is Genji Challa or Hala. I don't know if you pronounce the C or not.
yeah,
It's from Ethiopia. It's good. It's like,
yeah,
yeah, it's actually like I made a small cup of coffee because
mm.
it's 6 p.m. right now.
Yeah,
Um, but I really wanted more.
yeah, yeah.
So, but it's got like honey and peach and black tea.
Dude, that one you sent me one. I can't remember the name of the roaster. It had I think it was a dinosaur or a dragon on the
Oh, that's my
front.
roaster.
Is
Yeah,
that
Valence. Yeah.
they were? It was so sick. I had a what was it, like raspberry or something notes. It was great. It was whatever it was. Like I remember me and my fiance loved it.
Yeah, that's so I wasn't working there at the time that I sent
Mm,
that. But
that's so
uh
funny.
now, yeah, well, it's my really good friend. Like we started a band together. We might have been playing in the band at that time.
Yeah, because
Um
you're in two bands. Do you drum in one and then
yeah.
you yell
So
in another one?
I yell in another one. Me and Nancy have a band together.
Oh, really?
It's not out yet. It's almost done.
Amazing.
It's a death metal band, and she's doing vocals, which
So
is
sick.
so sick. And
That's so
then
rad.
I sent it to one of her coworkers recently.
Yeah,
This dude who lives like out in LA,
yeah,
and he was like, "That's Nancy," and I was like, "Yeah, dude, it's sick."
yeah, yeah. That's so rad.
But yeah, I played drums, but I'm now on bass
Yeah,
reluctantly.
yeah. Everyone, everyone's always on bass because they have to be. They're like, well, I'm a part-time bass player, full-time musician.
It makes me mad too, because
Yeah,
like at first it's for fun, right? It always
yeah,
starts for fun, and then you start
yeah.
getting a lot of shows, and then you're like, I guess we got to keep this going.
You're
Shit,
like, oh, okay
but
then.
like I'm supposed to play drums,
Yeah,
and then we had like a full 5-person lineup. The bassist moves
mhm,
back to Sydney, Australia. So
yeah,
shit, the bassist for Bruiserweight wants to play third guitar, right? Which is cool. That's fine.
yeah,
I'll play bass if we're gonna have 3 guitars because that looks sick.
yeah.
Well, the second guitarist left because he's got too much going on. So instead of that guy, the bassist, moving to
Back to
bass,
bass. Yeah.
he's gonna play guitar. And I'm like, fuck, now who I gotta play bass. Like for reals.
Yeah. Now this is like it's like this is who I am now.
This is me now. This is my whole
Yeah. You
identity.
got trapped. There was a whole plan.
It
They knew.
was headstrong. Um, yeah, so that's happening. Um,
Yeah.
you have the one thing going on.
Yeah. Yeah. We're in I got um postdr0me. That's the main focus right now. I kind of took a step back from like content creation over the last like year or so,
Mhm.
probably a little bit longer, honestly, to um, just see if I could make music seriously. To that point, I had always just kind of made like until like maybe like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I had really only made music as like kind of like like a meme almost. And I just wanted to kind of like put something forward, and I just started writing songs like on acoustic guitar and whatever. And yeah, postdr0me kind of came out of that. It's us, it's me and three dudes. Just we're all just trying to carry the vibe. A lot of like older like new metal and alt metal vibes from like the early 2000s, but kind of give it this newer like spin,
Mhm.
which has been super fun. It's just been kind of like naturally what I would write. I initially wanted to do this to be like a softer, like no screaming, no breakdowns. And then just like no matter what I did, it just came out that way. I was like, dang.
It's a
I was like,
curse.
I was like, I tried. It's like this acoustic song has a breakdown. But yeah, like that's kind of that's how that kind of came out about. It was just me and I started with one of my friends who's no longer in the band, and we kind of evolved. Now we're just like a four-piece group, and it's been good. That's one of my friends that I met at while working at Best Buy, and our drummer, he's been in a couple of bands, and our other guitar player, he's been in bands in like Florida, some like older like emo bands and stuff like that. And now we're all just kind of vibing with whatever sound that postdr0me is.
Ooh. Yeah, we'll definitely dive deeply into
Yeah.
postdr0me. But
Yes.
I was like listening to it, I'm like, oh, I can hear so many influences. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
dude. Influences on my sleeve at all times. I don't know how else to do it. If it's on there, if you think it sounds like it, it's exactly what it is.
There's some
Yeah.
I'll throw them out in a bit, but yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
I was like, oh yeah, you know what?
yeah.
I think that was a yeah. Um, as far as content creation, I
Yeah.
think last time we talked, you were doing that like heavy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I did see like recently that it was a bit of like a maybe a back off, and I was
Mhm.
like, what's Derryk cooking up?
Yeah, yeah. It was funny because I think last year, like, because I've always been kind of like not sporadic, but like I've had like I was most consistent probably from like 2020 until like 2020, early 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and initially, I bought a house. Like me and my fiance bought a house, so we were like working on the house and moving from LA. So there was like a little pause there, but I got back into it and then started making it heavy again. And then yeah, I mean, that was kind of like, it became a point where I was like, which one do I kind of want to do? Because I was trying to do both at the same time. And I think I needed to spend more of my energy on one thing or the other one would suffer. You know what I mean? Like it's putting like half energy into one, half energy into the other.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I was like, I'm just gonna do. I mean, you can do that. I mean, that a lot of people are able to do that. I just for me, I wasn't able to kind of like I couldn't get enough out of either one. Like it was taking me a long time to write songs, or if it was like making content or whatever, it just didn't ever end up feeling like I was doing my best. So ended up just being like, okay, well, let's just see what I can do with music. And then I made like a conscious decision to be like, okay, I'm just gonna do this, and just see how long it'll take me to, write this music and see what I feel afterwards. And I've just been writing since for like the last like year and a half, 2 years now. So,
Damn. Do you feel
but
like which would be more draining? Would it be songwriting or does the content creation take a lot?
dude, that's honestly a great question. Cause I think songwriting is I wrote my first like full song, like start to finish in 2022. Like I'd never written a song completely like front to back until then. So it's way newer for me to do like music that way. So I think like I can push out like content, like create like the that's I think the way I would kind of put it is like pushing, like having songs kind of take form is harder for me, but it's more rewarding than whenever I would kind of do content, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, because a lot of times if I did content and it, performed well or whatever kind of happened with that, it was just kind of something that I had done before. I'm just like, okay, let's just kind of move on. And I'm not sure. I mean, how many content creators, if you talk to any, I'm sure they kind of would say the same sentiment. Like the content creation machine is just that. It's like you just gotta. It's all right. What's next? Keep going. Keep going.
Right.
So there's kind of like that like hamster wheel effect with content creation that I feel like you're never done. So in some ways it's less taxing because it doesn't, matter, but it's also like no matter what you do, you just got to do it again the next day. So they both have their pluses and minuses, but I think for me, it was probably content creation. I think that's why I kind of like moved away from it for a bit. Just because it just wasn't as fulfilling as making music.
Do you also feel like in writing music and creating music,
Mhm.
it's like your true form? Like it's like what's coming out directly. And when you're
Yeah,
making content, you're kind of riffing or parodying like what's already existing. So
exactly.
it's not
Yeah.
so much like your most creative element. It's just like
Yeah.
you're kind of,
No,
yeah.
1,000%. Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. I think that is how it is. I think with like content creation, like you kind of like there's people that can transcend the source material that can like become their like separate from whatever their niche is.
Mhm.
And a lot of people are like that and they have like their own existence outside of like the music space or whatever it might be. But for a lot of people, I felt like for myself at least, I felt like I very heavily depended on like whoever it was that I was, taking um not like shots at, but who I was like basing a video off of or whatever for like a video or whatever. So I think that's a big thing too, is just you see that side of it instead of, being like super outward about yourself and being putting yourself on display, I guess, instead of whatever band or artist or genre or whatever that you're doing before.
Yeah. I definitely could see that because like doing the podcast as well. It's not like
Mhm.
true. I don't think true content creation. It's more so
I
just
I
like
think it is. I think it is.
platforming.
Yeah.
But like when I started like seriously focusing on music
Mm.
and like being able to play shows is like a huge thing. Like it's so different than
Yeah.
like putting out an episode and being like, how are people going to respond?
Yeah.
It's
It's like
like
I
you
played a
can
show and
act,
I know.
yeah, you can actively see it. It's like we sold t-shirts, like people
Yeah.
like the music, it's
Yeah.
you have like really,
Exactly.
really concrete judgments. But
Yeah,
like
exactly.
it's like, did y'all fuck with this or no? And then it's like
Yeah.
nobody's answering.
Yeah. Every time after you play a song, you're like, did you like this?
So should we do more like this or should it be maybe you'll like this one more?
Yeah, exactly.
So punch each other or
Yeah.
give us
Or
something.
don't.
I,
Whatever you're feeling. Is that the vibe we give off? I don't know.
jump off the stage, maybe. I don't know.
Question mark and everything.
The most insecure band in the world. So
That's, I mean,
do you want to jump or okay?
yeah. It's okay. I'm sorry.
Whatever you're feeling, right?
I mean, yeah, that's exactly that's like I mean, that's how I feel. I mean, like content creation is great and I love that. And I will return to it. I mean, I'm probably like it's something I grew up doing anyway. Like I made YouTube videos when I was like such a young kid. It's something I still enjoy and find a lot of, uh I guess I don't know. I like doing it still.
Mhm.
And but I think like kind of like what you're saying, it's like making music, I feel like it's so much more true to you. It's so much like there's nobody's name on it but you, which is nobody attached it to but you.
Mhm.
Whether it's lyrics or just like the songs that you write or whatever it is, it's totally and 100% something that you created and that does not exist without you. Like and that's one thing that I always kind of like notice with like content creation. It's like if I don't make this joke right now, somebody else will. But if I don't make this music right now, nobody else is going to make it.
Right.
Period. End of story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I feel about it. And that's I feel just so much stronger about making and being like a musician, making music and being a musician than I do content creation. But it's so funny because music today, obviously, you have to be a content creator to be like legit. So it's like so then you're like sick.
Yeah. How to make spinning blender logo.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Exactly.
What is
exactly.
Envato Elements?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. That's it's fucking annoying because
right. It's like for me it's super weird because like I go from like having this platform and like having like this thing built off of something else, and it's not like it doesn't like directly translate. Like I remember I would get like I had like some sponsored videos for a long time, and they would come back to me every once in a while, every like month or so, and they would, they'd be like, hey, can you do a video for this artist and this song? Here's the link, whatever. Okay, cool. And I would do it. And no matter how hard I tried, I like there was music marketing, and some people like some influencers or some TikTokers or whoever are really good at doing that part of it. But man, every time I tried to do it, I always just felt like I just felt like I was doing a disservice to everything that I was doing. I was like, dang, I'm not I'm not good at this part of it. So now coming back to being in a band, I'm like, shit, now I have to like I know how to do my thing, but not this thing. And I have to do both. And it's like
like what, like a reaction video or something?
Or like, yeah, they would be like, hey, you can do like whatever you want. And I would do like, I would never do like something that was inauthentic to me completely, but I would try to make it like, something that I would normally make. But yeah, like that would be something that would kind of come up sometimes. And I'd just be like, ah. But I mean, then they pay me. So I'm like, well,
I
was like,
I'll cash in on that,
Yeah, I was like, I've been paid for worse. And everyone,
what's up, Best Buy?
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh,
slinging TVs, dog. But yeah, that's like that was it's a weird thing. It's kind of like it's like a weird full circle thing, trying to do both. And also like not shortchange it either, and just like I could have easily just been like and changed my main page to like my band page and been like, look guys, I have a following. Yeah, I have my band has a following. Yeah, and I've seen people do that before. I can't remember who. I've seen it a ton, and it's just like, yeah, I just don't know.
It's whack.
Yeah, you got to do it the real way and be real and authentic. That's the whole point. If you're doing it and just like faking things, why even do it at all? It's just weird. People do that though.
People can smell. I feel like it gets sussed out pretty easily though.
Yeah, people that like there's like bands that like buy followers or like listens or whatever. Why? It's literally why?
Yeah. Don't do that.
To feel good about yourself.
I mean, people can like, I know some bands, or I have heard some mutual friends bands have done this, and it's like, it's cringe because we know that you did it.
Yeah.
You're from a city of less than 1 million people and very isolated area, and somehow you've got 40,000 monthly listeners.
Yeah. It's like,
and
dude,
you played 7 shows.
It's like, what?
How? No.
Yeah. I don't know. Because I think you see that too, and you're like, what is this? Like, what are you doing? It's funny. It's funny.
How do you not? How do you think? What?
How
do you not know? Like,
everyone's like, everyone sees this.
It's just a little sus. Like, we're gonna be like, how did y'all just really got on that algorithm, or?
Yeah. Spotify loves us.
Like, there's bands that I know that have gotten caught on the algorithm, and I'm like, all right, they're not the kind of people that will go out of their way to even like post on Instagram. You
Yeah,
know?
dude. That's the life for bands that don't need to do anything. Like it's few and far between. There's like it's like major label bands that like their labels do a lot, of the marketing and
Mhm.
whatever. But there's some bands that like that's their whole vibe. They're like, we're not gonna do social media. We don't even have Instagram. We don't do anything, and we're gonna tour. And it's like,
Yeah.
well, shit. How do you?
Well, like Milspec,
Yeah.
I don't even know. They got on Audio Tree.
Mhm.
I'm like, this band doesn't even have an Instagram.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
how
It's
do you
wild.
how do you book them?
Like they sent him a letter.
A carrier pigeon.
Yeah, dog.
We want you on Audio Tree. Okay, see you in 6 months. Wait,
Yeah, right. Exactly. Like they're setting sail to the new land.
they're going across one of the Great Lakes.
Yeah,
We have to sail across Lake Michigan
exactly. On a sailboat.
with all their gear. Just
Yeah.
uh,
That is I think that's goals for I think any band should want to be on Audio Tree and have their own Audio Tree live one day.
or KEXP even.
I don't know what is that? I've never heard of that.
KEXP is like the OG Audio Tree. So Audio Tree
Really?
focuses more on alternative.
Yeah.
KEXP was doing like Passion Pit
Mm,
before they were big and Temper Trap.
mm.
It was more like indie,
Oh,
but it's out of
okay.
Seattle.
Oh, so, yeah, I mean, hey, anything. I that's like if people can do it and shit, they did it with no Instagram, they did it with no social media, just pure grit and determination.
Yeah, they've
Let's
been around
go.
for. It was like it's a radio show though, like it's an
Yeah,
actual station.
that's
Audio Tree
cool.
was just like, here's our YouTube channel. Like we're
I
gonna
love it.
we're gonna put
I
your
think it's
favorite
great.
bands up, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
I love it. So it's so sick.
every time I watch that the first Caspian set, I cry.
I there's so many. It's my favorite audio trees. Oh, there's so many. I love who was it? There's Full of Hell just did one. It's amazing. Um Portrayal of Guilt.
That's a really
Uh
good one.
the Portrayal of Guilt one was the first time I saw them, like them as like people. I had only just ever heard their music and I saw that they were a three piece and it blew me away. I was
Mhm.
like, what?
I
That's
saw them as a
crazy.
two piece because the bassist couldn't cross
Really?
the border.
Oh my God. That's so rad.
It still worked.
I yeah, dude. They're insane. I could see that working.
Um,
That's so cool.
the
Such
turnover
a
one
sick
is
band.
the turnover one's goaded.
Turnover. Oh my God. There is a ton that are just like perfect. They
Pine
just sound
Grove.
so good. Yeah. Yeah, like one of the like the yes, dude. The Pine Grove one is great.
Pine Grove
And
is like, I feel like people they have a huge following still, but like
the Pine Grove Shuffle, my friend.
if you don't know about Pine Grove, then how are you even a human?
Everyone, they're like, oh yeah, that TikTok band.
Oh,
They did the Pine
that's
Grove Shuffle.
I feel so bad that that's like the you become that, you know?
I mean, there's bands, okay, because I agree, but at the same time, like it's a two-way street. But we didn't get new Super Heaven. We didn't get, and we were gonna get new Basement because of TikTok. And that's a fact. It's just that's what happened. Super Heaven was long begotten, and Basement was just kind of like
We'll play a fest.
something. Yeah, like everyone. So exactly, like whatever.
We'll play a fest.
And now Basement is like
Touring.
they have new music coming out eventually, and Super Heaven has their new EP out. Amazing.
Do
I'm
you
just
follow their
saying
podcast
the Quit Your Band or whatever.
while you still can?
Yeah, I've watched it. I don't follow it like super strong, but I do. I followed it whenever they like I watched the episode whenever they dropped their first single off this EP. It's so good. I love those two. They're hilarious.
I love Super Heaven. I even
Yeah.
when they were like a band,
Mm-hmm.
I was one of the people that cared about them. One of the 16 people who
Yeah.
actually liked that band.
Yeah. I saw a set. It was like 2015, and they were opening for. I think they were opening for either like Turnstile or I think it was Turnstile, and I'm like, what? It was them and two. I can't remember. It's a set on YouTube, and I'm like, this is a crazy band. This is insane. I have a Jar vinyl from before they were Super Heaven and they were
You
Daylight.
have the daylight one?
Yes, I got it like 2019. It was before, it was pre-COVID. And I think I don't know what, I can't remember. It was before vinyl got really expensive. Because I think I paid $25 for it, maybe.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's probably my favorite vinyl. It's probably my prized vinyl.
I mean, that's like a rare. I don't even
Yeah,
know where I would find that as outside of like Discogs.
yeah. That's. I mean, that's even where I got it, and I was just kind of like, oh, like whatever. I didn't even think anything when I bought it, and I'm like, oh, this is like legit. So yeah, it's cool.
There's this like really shitty record store in Montreal
Mhm.
called Paul's Boutique,
Yeah,
and it's literally the roof is caving in, like it's falling apart. And trying to go through there, if you have any sort of OCD or like attention disorder,
yeah,
it's horrible because it's just
yeah.
shit stacked everywhere. Um, but I last time I was in there, I found a 7 inch from Inside Out, like the OG 7 inch.
Wow.
It's a repress, but it's
Yeah.
from like,
Still,
yeah, it's from the last 20 years.
that's insane.
So I bought it. I was like,
Yeah, yeah. I was like, I hope so.
I might need to get this.
Dude, I have a little. I know this is a side note, but I went to New York City a couple summers ago, and I went to this flea market pop up thing in Brooklyn, and it was this woman inside this. It was like under a. It was like in a building, and she just had a little stack of records and whatever. I was looking through them, and I found like this like test press of Land of a Million Drums by like the Scooby Doo soundtrack that Andre 3000 did with Killer Mike. And it's just a single, it's a 12-inch, but it's one song and it says like not for resale. That's like probably my coolest. That's
That's
yeah. I think like out of everything that I have, like I think that was like one of the coolest. And she didn't even know. She was like, yeah, I was like, I don't think it might not be worth money, but like I've never heard of it or seen it. And it's just literally the single, and it's one song. I got it for like $10, I think.
that's wild.
Yeah, I love that. That's my favorite. Finding crazy, just off the wall shit at any place. I love it.
I think I got a. Do you listen to Glenn Campbell?
I don't think so. No.
So one of my favorite like country esque songs is
Hmm.
Wichita Lineman
Hmm.
by Glenn Campbell. And I was in another record store in Montreal. We have great record stores in Montreal.
Yeah.
This one's like an actual shop, not a person's bodega
Not
on
a
a street.
dilapidated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's called Death of Vinyl.
Hmm.
And I found they had a Glenn Campbell. I haven't listened to it yet because I'm
Yeah.
scared it's gonna just disintegrate when I put it on the record player.
Put on the platter and it just
It
explodes.
just like combusts. Um,
That's so sick.
but yeah, I got it for like $2, and I was like,
That's rad.
you feel good. There's a good feeling washes
Yeah.
over you when you get
Yeah.
deals like that.
It's like, you found your golden ticket and you're like looking around to make sure no one like steals it from you. Like, stay away from my thing.
When you're like at this store and you've got your pile stacked up, and then somebody
Yeah.
starts like poking at it, and you're like, "Don't make me fight you in this store
Yeah.
right now."
Yeah, bro, I got these tattoos. I am tough.
I have a spider web tattoo. Okay, that means I went to jail or something.
Yeah, I got asked that once. Like, how long you in for? I was like, bro, I work at Best Buy.
My friend has one, and he was on the bus, and this guy was like looking at it, and he was like, "Oh, that spiderweb tattoo is kind of crazy." And my friend was like, "Yeah, you know what I got it for?" And he was like, "What?" He's like, "I went to jail. You know what I went to jail for?" And the guy was like, "What?" He was like, "Because I killed the last guy who asked me what this tattoo was for." It's like, what
Yeah.
I mean, it's all fake. Like Jose is
Yeah.
not that kind of person at all, but it's just a funny. He looks like he could
Uh,
be that, you know.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, there was
That's so funny.
oh, I was in a French class the other day,
Mhm.
and I like it was like one hot day, so I didn't have like a sweatshirt on,
Mhm.
and like my friend behind me, they were like, "Oh, yo, that's a really cool spider web tattoo." They were like, "What does it mean?" I was like, "I was in a gang." They were like, "Really?" I was like, "No, but you never know, right? Because I'm 32." They were like, "What the fuck?"
Like, oh wow.
Yeah.
Maybe I should stop asking.
Stop asking. Don't ask people what their tattoos mean because they don't mean anything.
Yeah, exactly. None of my tattoos have like deep meaning. Maybe I find it later on. I had this flail with a smiley face on it.
Does it make you happy when you look at
Yeah,
it?
dude.
Yeah,
Exactly.
maybe that's what it's for.
Exactly.
I have a tattoo of a bug, like a little fly.
Love it.
It's my favorite tattoo,
Amazing.
and I picked it on the day.
Exactly. That's how it goes.
That's how it is. I might need to get a flail with a smiley face now.
Dude, I got it. And the guy that did mine, I can't remember his Instagram. I'll probably I can't remember, but he did one for me, and then he did another one for another person like later. And the other person's looks not mine looks great. I love mine, but the other one was like way better. And I was like, damn, because it was a different type of smiley face. I'm like, shit, that guy got a really good one. Or it's like
I,
another type of flail, but I was like, damn it.
I
But I
get a
love
smiley
mine.
face that's like squiggly, like where it's
Yeah,
like the little eyes, and he's like,
yeah, like the Nirvana.
yes,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly. What is the worst comment you've ever received on a video?
Dude, oh my gosh. I'm trying to think back because I've definitely got a ton. Oh my God. Oh, so many about like me being like a core kid, uh, and being like a poser like that. Like I wouldn't even call them like the worst. I got so many of those about like from just dudes that like hated the fact that I was talking about like metalcore bands.
Wait, why would
uh,
like because they were metalheads or
yeah, because they were real metalhead. Oh, dude, the real metalhead comments probably more often than not. Any Linkin Park mention, any mention of any new metal band that's my favorite is when people are like, new metal isn't metal. I'm like, bro, it's in the name. It's at least adjacent.
I know really famous like people in metal bands that they got into metal from new metal because it was the
Yeah,
90s.
exactly, dude. It's what was happening. I think that's oh, dude, the worst comment. There's so many. I got there. I remember. I'm trying to remember it now. And I know content creators get this all the time, but there's like sometimes like crazy, like a real crazed person would like just send like I got an email once. That was the worst. That was what it was.
The worst comment is an email.
Yeah, the worst comment I ever got. It wasn't even he left a comment and then sent me an email like threatening me about something that I think I made fun of. Like I think it was like Kid Rock. I think it's because I made fun of like a kid. I think
It
I
would
think it
be.
was I think it was like Kid Rock or something like that. I dead ass got like an email. And I swear to God, it was like a Hotmail account that sent it to me. I think that's what it was. It was like 2 years. It was like a year or so ago because I had my email in my bio for the longest time. I might still be, but yeah, it was literally like he was so pissed off that like I was talking shit about Kid Rock or something, and I wasn't even really. It was like a funny thing that I just kind of mentioned because I don't really talk shit about bands. I don't hate on bands, but it was just like I mentioned them in like a negative light or something. Like I can't remember what it was, but he was so mad. He was so pissed off. He literally sent me a fucking email. That was so funny.
Just be like, respond like, too long, didn't read.
Yeah. Cope.
I appreciate your comments.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah. Cause I mean, I got it so many. I mean, there's like normal ones that I don't even like think about. I'm like, yeah, like whatever. They call me names and whatever because I don't like, I'm not talking about like crazy death metal bands or something. Whatever. I love it.
Every
It's
video is
great.
not about dying fetus.
Oh, dang. You're right.
Oh, fuck. Sorry to burst your bubble, boys, but that's a hardcore band.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like, bro, this is slam.
Yeah, like prime example. The most metal part of the band is Trey's drumming, and that's everything else is junts. So
Yeah, dude. It's so funny.
I
It's
uh
so funny.
I started another podcast with Spencer from Scoped Exposure,
Mhm.
and it's called Do It or Don't.
Mhm.
And right now it's mostly just brain rot, like talking about like relevant shit.
Yeah.
Like the whole Poppy spirit box thing. But
Yes.
I showed them that Post Malone did the Nirvana thing,
Yeah.
and like there's a clip that was posted, like a Amazon, like a, not Amazon, what am I talking about? A YouTube short
Yeah.
or something. And it was like somebody left a comment that was like, because the last thing that said is like, I was like, that's so hard.
Yeah.
Like it's sick, it's hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the guy was like, literally the easiest song in the world. Like quoted like it's so hard. And then somebody responded like, it's the attitude. So then I responded from my account because nobody knows what it is. And
Yeah.
I was like, I was like, not in terms of skill, boomer. Learn the lingo. So
That's
I like that nobody
that's
knows
the
my presence
funniest.
online, so that I can just be
Yeah.
like, you're fucking stupid.
That's so that's the worst, honestly, when somebody completely misses the joke or like what you're saying, and they're like, "What do you mean?
Oh, we got ourselves a real
Whatever."
Einstein on our hands.
You're like, did you miss the whole like joke? Like
Yes.
like you completely like you went off somewhere else and you got mad at yourself. I don't know what happened.
I mean,
Yeah.
brains are crazy, you know?
Some people don't have them. You don't need one, I guess.
Some people's are wired backwards.
Some people are living proof you do not need a brain to live.
It's true. It's true. And what's funny is I feel like brain rot, like people call it brain rot, but you
Yeah.
really have to be smart to understand the humor in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Apparently.
No, I mean you have to, I guess you have to be privy to the goings on in the world
It's
at
so
least.
intertextual, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Um, well, bro, we got postdr0me. What's going on? I did not. So,
Dude.
of all the genres, of all the
Yeah.
musics that
Yeah.
I expected DerykWithaY's name to be on,
Yeah.
it was not like new metal shoegaze.
Yeah.
It was more like breet breet
Yeah.
slam
Yeah.
pingy snare music.
Right. Ding, ding,
Um,
ding, ding.
yeah, but I will say it sounds really good.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean that was kind of like one of the things that I kind of like almost I made it, like I said, a conscious decision to like go away from kind of like what I had always made my like content about. And more so just because a lot of the music that had been coming out, I'd also just kind of gotten like tired of. Not like like the new version of whatever this like metalcore thing has been. Like
Name names.
like the latest Ghost Inside album is
Okay.
so crazy. It's like you can say whatever you want to about their old stuff. It was a completely different thing than it is now. Like that kind of whatever, like Sirius XM octane level like music, like which is so funny because like the kind of thing that I'm trying to do it like emulates a lot of the things from like the early 2000s, like how that kind of like the stuff that's still being played now.
Yeah.
But like I kind of like I didn't want to do that, like whatever, the bands that are trying to like be Bring Me the Horizon in 2025, you know what I mean? Unless they're trying to do like this is what the edge of your seat is made for, like like that era of
I'll
yeah, like
I'll go
like
back to
that
that.
era stuff. I'm like, okay,
Count
that's
your
fine.
blessings.
Yeah, like that era, great. That revival, like there, a lot of revival bands are so sick. Like a lot of like the MySpace deathcore bands, I'm so stoked on.
Yeah.
But again, like I just wanted to kind of go. I wanted to kind of take just a left turn and just kind of do something else. And my friend who is in the he's our bass player now, begrudgingly so.
Damn.
He got me in a title fight in like 2017, and I'd always just kind of like listened to them, and like I had always been like kind of adjacent to like all like the harder like hardcore stuff like that. And title fight led to like a bunch of other bands, and eventually into like Super Heaven and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of my earlier like bands that I loved listening to kind of fell within that kind of range. I kind of found similarities between a lot of that music that I really liked. Like like you get like certain things from like older Linkin Park and some of these new metal bands, like some like obscure like non-point like some of these crazier like older like new metal bands
Mhm.
that kind of blended with some of the newer stuff like that some of these like shoegaze and like the new gaze bands are doing. Shout out Split Chain.
Yo.
Like there's like something that they're doing in Fleshwater. Like a lot of these bands, like they kind of brought that like sound together. And I think that was like kind of like what I saw. And I was like, dude, that can like work. Like
Mhm.
they're like those sounds of like the like some of the it's a meme now because everyone like makes fun of people for calling everything with guitars shoegaze on TikTok. But like things that are actually shoegaze, like blending with like kind of this like new metal vibe. Like
Mhm.
they're it's called like new gaze, but it's a lot of the same stuff that's always been there, and it's just highlighting very sick elements that I always loved.
Mhm.
You know, like Deftones. That was like the huge thing. I got
Like
White
that's
Pony.
yeah. I saw the white pony, and I was like, I didn't know the white pony tattoo. Like Hum. Are you familiar with Hum?
Very, very much so. Hum is amazing.
Yeah.
They're what's the album with the zebra?
You prefer an
The
astronaut.
Yeah, that album front to back, one of the best albums from that time. I think they came out the same year as what is it? The Smashing Pumpkins.
Gish.
Yeah, it's like it was like right in that era. It's insane. Like that era of music. It's just I loved it. I've always loved like older like music like that, and Hum was so ahead of their time. I
Yeah.
can't believe it. I mean, they came out with their what was it, like a little it was an EP or was it a full album? I can't remember, like 2020 or
Yeah,
2022.
Inlet. It was
Yeah.
like a full it was a full 8 songs.
Yeah, was it? Yeah, I couldn't
Yeah.
remember what it was. I remember when it came out and I was like, what? But they only did like
95 was You'd Prefer an Astronaut, and then they had Downward as Heaven. Oh, they have a record before
really?
called Electra 2000.
Huh.
I didn't even know about that one. But then
Yeah.
Downward as Heaven came out in 98.
Yeah.
I have a friend, I'll shout him out. His name's Alec, and he plays in a band, Cloned Apparition.
Shout out Alec.
Shout out Alec. He says that Downward is Heaven is a better record than You Prefer an Astronaut, and I'm just gonna set the record straight that he's wrong. Because I have a podcast and I can say that, and he can't defend
This
himself
is
on it.
my this is my opinion.
But we'll just put a consensus. If you want to disagree or agree, listen to both Hum records and tell me which one is better. Because
Yeah.
Downward is Heaven, oh, it was good. It
Yeah.
doesn't have stars on it, so it automatically is not as good.
Yeah. Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness.
Oh,
And
the double
that's
LP.
yeah, that was that. And then God damn, what was the other one? Siamese Dream. Those came out in the same like 3 year period.
I didn't know that Siamese Dream. Well,
Like Siamese Dream, I think was like 93.
because that
I
was the
think.
second Pumpkins record, and Gish was the first one.
The first, which is so raw, so sick.
They recorded
92
it
is when Siamese
themselves.
Dream go, yeah. Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, Billy Corgan taught himself how to record. Apparently, he could be
Crazy.
making this up because he's like Quentin Tarantino, but for music.
He's like, I am the best musician I've ever heard. Billy Corgan.
Somebody who really believes in himself.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I mean, I'll be
Yeah.
honest, I love it. I mean,
Yeah, like damn, he's right. He is
those first
great.
3 records are crazy.
Like damn, they're pretty hard sick. They're pretty sick. But yeah, you know, like there was a lot of like artists from those like era, like Sunny Day Real Estate,
Mhm.
like those kind of like a lot of the 90s music. And then like I love At the Drive-In. I love I'm trying to think of all these bands that I had been listening to and whatever. I felt like I more resonated with those things than whatever was coming out of like this metalcore world or like even like the deathcore world. Deathcore got, I don't know. Somebody did something.
That shit went crazy.
Yeah, that went left in 2020 and even kind of before that. But and a lot of it just changed the way I kind of like was looking at things. I'm like, you know, I just didn't like I didn't fuck with it anymore. And I was like, ugh. So yeah. And that's, I mean, again, when it kind of came to the content, it just felt more it felt more authentic to me to make music that I was like really into
Mhm.
than to kind of keep posting about whatever I was kind of, whatever I was doing, whatever, whatever bands I was talking about or whatever it might have been. It just felt better to be like, trying to make an album or trying to make music that sounded like something that I actually really deeply resonated with.
Mhm.
Still love a lot of that music. It's just a lot of it is changed.
Well, I mean, the best deathcore bands have evolved now where they just make podcasts. They don't even record music.
I love the Garza podcast. Shout out.
There's a Suicide Silence podcast now.
That's it. That's the what's his name is
Garza,
Garza.
yeah.
Yeah, Garza. Shout out. He's great.
But they've been doing like weekly band episodes
I love it.
that I am just really enjoying.
Yeah, it's so funny. They're so funny.
I think it also proves like all of the best bands that everyone likes in pretty much any genre
Mhm.
at some point intersects with hardcore.
Yeah, 1,000%, 1,000,000%. Yeah,
Like Suicide Silence they were hardcore people, and then they were
yeah,
like, "Oh, we'll just write heavier breakdowny music," and then like that's the best deathcore band that's ever existed.
yeah. I think so. If you're
Yeah,
talking about just deathcore, Suicide
like
Silence is
like
number one.
actual deathcore. Like I don't know what all this symphonic
Yeah,
orchestra shit is.
yeah. You don't like the yeah. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, if that's your thing, that's your
Go
thing. Like
for it.
I'm not gonna hate on anybody for that. I think there's skill in all of those things,
Hey, for sure. Not
but
discrediting it, but different
it's
strokes.
it's just when you listen to the isolated tracks on Unanswered, all of the instruments are in there,
It's five. What is it? Five dudes going nuts,
going crazy.
and that's all. That's all it is. And they're just so good at it.
Yeah.
The
Speaking of
cleansing.
speaking of five dudes going at it, um, in Neverno, there's Norma Jean stuff in there.
Dude, I love Norma Jean so much. I love Norma Jean. Like they're like, so Norma Jean record it's two or three of their albums. I think they did two or I can't remember. Um, they did that with Ross Robinson.
I know that.
Yeah, Ross Robinson, and there's two songs or three songs on one of their albums that was co-written with Chino of Deftones, and he's on I think he's on one of their songs for sure.
I did not
On
know
a Norma
this.
Jean, dude. I didn't know that either. I was listening to one of the songs. I was listening. I'm gonna find it really quick, but that I was listening to I think it's the Anti Mother.
Oh, from Meridian, right? Or from
It's let me look really quick. It's yeah, the Anti Mother came out in 2008. Recorded with Ross Robinson, and Surrender Your Sons has Chino on it. And it's probably Norma Jean's best song. One of, if not their literal best song. And I looked at like Ross Robinson and what he did, and he intersected with a lot of this, like, I mean, obviously new metal,
Yeah.
everything, Korn and but he also did like, I think he did At the Drive-In and Norma Jean and like a lot of these like post-hardcore and like early metalcore bands. I'm like, in this like hardcore elements, I'm like, this is insane. But yeah, dude, I'm glad you noticed that because I definitely pull a lot of inspiration from Norma Jean. I love Norma Jean. They're great.
Well, like the breakdown, I think is very Norma Jean-esque in that it's
Yeah.
like it's not like a breakdown that you're used to.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like I hear it and I'm like, oh, yo, that's like 100% something off of Redeemer. Like that's like the off time and stuff. I was like,
yeah.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, dude. I remember like kind of like listening to their stuff and like just noticing how adjacent it was to like kind of everything that I liked. I love Norma Jean, like early Norma Jean, like some of like with Josh Skogan, like
Yeah.
like original, dude.
Yeah.
Insane. Obviously the Chariot, two of like some really, really influential bands for me. And yeah, it's funny, like I don't like when I make music, and I'm sure you can kind of attest to this. It's like you don't try to do anything specifically. But when it happens, you're like, oh, that's sick. And then it's like, oh, that's where that came from. Oh, like, oh, okay, I get it now.
Yeah, like you write a song and you put it out and you're like, oh, this is Set It Off by Madball. Shit.
You're like, oh,
Fuck.
yeah, I've done that. I've done that too many times. And like, I've written songs where I'm like, this is sick. I'm like, this is literally like flesh water. I'm like, fuck. Guess I got to change my entire everything.
I heard that chorus lead sometime, like somewhere
Yeah.
else.
Yeah. I was like, damn it. I got to do something else. But it sucks because it's like, I'm trying, like, you don't try to do that. You don't try to like take from anyone. But like, whenever you're like super inspired, you like just like naturally like, oh, this like these progressions or whatever it might be, it sounds really sick. And like, oh, that's why. Like,
Yeah.
shit. And they have to rewrite everything.
Well, I mean, but at least own up to it. Like I was running a show for Glixen
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago.
Shout out Glixen.
Love Glixen. That whole tour
Coachella.
package.
Coachella.
Are they
Crazy.
playing Coachella?
They are playing Coachella.
Okay, that's pretty sick. And they're like really, really nice people.
Really? Yeah, they seem it. They seem really great.
Super nice. The bands that they were on tour with were great too. It was She's Green and Susie Cute. She's Green, very sick band. They're like mathy indie stuff. Anyway,
yeah,
the local that played the show, they're like sound checking, and the dude starts playing Bad Apple from Basement. And I was like, oh, y'all are playing a Basement cover? And he was like, no, what? I was like, well, that's the riff from Bad Apple. And he was like, no, that's one of our songs. And I was like, oh, he's like, I don't even listen to Basement. I was like, you obviously do.
Hey.
Because you heard that riff somewhere, dog. Like,
yeah.
It's the same riff in the same key.
That's okay. Now that's where it gets kind of tricky too. Especially it's like, oh, it's different. It's like if it's the same, it's this exact same. It's like, bro.
The timing was like a little different, like the layout of the song, but the riff was still.
Yeah. Like, cause I mean, don't get me wrong. That's a good, I have a very similar in one of these songs. It's not based on it, but it's like, it's very similar where it's just a descending back and forth between something, but it's not the same exact thing. And it's not, but I know exactly what you're talking about. The riff that you're talking about. So it's funny you say that, but yeah, if it's the same timing, it's the same. Yeah, it's the same key.
It was like the same key.
It's the same. It's the same riff. You're like, oh, shit.
Maybe you should go listen to Basement, bro, before you start stealing more of their riffs.
Yeah, that's accidentally stealing shit is awesome because then you're like, oh, I had no idea. Then you feel horrible. You're like, oh,
damn.
Well, I guess I better stop being a band.
I guess we're gonna hang it up. What else are you planning to do with postdr0me after you guys released Never Know?
Yeah,
and you're so inviting.
Yes.
Is there a full length?
So we're trying to figure it out because we have 4 songs that we recorded from October. We recorded one song in October last year, and then we recorded 3 songs in October and 1 song in August. And we're just kind of trying to decide because the 4 songs, and we have another one that we're all kind of like I wrote like everything, like top to bottom for the most part. Like our drummer wrote drums on everything. Like I programmed drums, like he did his thing on every song. And like our bass player did some stuff on a lot of the things, and our bass player came up with the main riff to Never Know. That's his riff. I just kind of put everything else together, and like everyone contributed, but for the most part, this was like kind of like things that I kind of did myself. So it was kind of like my brainchild. So we were kind of like trying to decide if we're going to release these 4 as like an EP and then do something else as like the collective. Cause that's what we're trying to do now, is kind of write more from like a holistic, like everyone contributes equally and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Just cause it makes it better. We're going to be, it's 4 voices instead of just me. Not that everything before was just me, but just having it be more of like a, contributions from everybody. So we're trying to figure that out. We have 2 songs we still have yet to release. but we're not sure. They may end up just being like 4 singles. It might just be like 2 singles and an EP, like, and then we just drop the full EP. We're not 100% sure,
Mhm.
but there is more music on the way, regardless of what it looks like. I don't know. But yeah, so the idea though is to take what we're writing now um into the studio end of summer, maybe August or so, and then release that later on, depending on how many songs we get done, and then have like maybe like another EP that is maybe it's 2 EPs, maybe it's a bunch of singles and an EP, or maybe it's something else kind of similar.
Mhm.
If we have a lot of songs, maybe we'll do a full length. Um, just kind of depending on what we end up getting finished. But there is definitely plans to put more stuff out.
Well, I'm excited to hear more. I feel like
Yeah.
2 songs is not enough.
Yeah.
Uh, you guys have played shows already too.
Yeah. We played a couple shows in October, November of this last year, and we haven't played since. Um Not for lack of trying. I just think it like we didn't release our first song until January, like end of January. Um and then now we're like releasing more things. We're kind of getting more connections with like the Colorado scene. We're finally getting like shows. I think right now we have shows, at least one show a month until July. I think
Okay.
we have April, May, a show in June, and July. So we have a bunch of shows kind of lined up, and then who knows in between? I don't know. Maybe more. Hopefully more. I don't know.
Weekenders and one-offs.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's that kind of everything. We're on tour. We take 5 shows in 5 months.
Why my favorite is when bands from like Canada are like Canadian tour, and it's like
Yeah.
2 cities in Quebec and then 3 cities around Toronto.
Full Canadian tour.
Full Canadian tour. But
Doing a US tour. We're doing LA, and that's it.
we'll do LA, Anaheim.
And we're out.
It's
Full
a
US
powerhouse weekend. We
Yeah.
played 1720, and then we're also playing Chain Reaction.
My tattoo shop was right next to 1720 in like the industrial like area of LA. Amazing. Side note. Shout out 1720.
1720 is dope. There's a section hate set from 1720 where the dudes at the front of the stage like shooting the fire off the front of the stage. I love watching
Dude,
section hate videos.
Section Hate is so crazy. They played a show with like Chief Keef one night. It was insane. It was absolutely wild.
Well, because isn't Mexi and he is in that show Mayans, isn't he?
I think so.
I think he had a cameo either in Mayans or in Sons of Anarchy.
It's one of those like FX. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It's
That's
so funny.
That's a fucking crazy band.
Yeah.
The LA scene is so wild. Like
It's America.
The bands that are there, they're just
Yeah.
crazy people.
Yeah, dude. There's was it Dead City Punks? If you
Yeah.
follow them on Instagram, that's I never got, because I mean that the whole thing is like Aska Punk shows. Like you had to know what bridge it was going to be under because it
Wait,
was,
were you there?
no, because like I didn't get into like the scene enough. I was not into it enough to like know where everything was happening. So I never got to go to those things where people were like lighting up like cars
Shooting
on fire,
fireworks at the helicopters and shit.
at the cops. Yeah. I wish I did.
I just remember for like a solid month, like me and my friends were like watching videos and clips from it being like, this is crazy.
Yeah. It was like that summer, like 2022 or something like that. It was insane. 2021.
Yeah. We had our first show back was October 2021 and it was under a bridge because they were inspired.
Yes. That's amazing. That's the best shows.
Yeah.
In a drain culvert somewhere.
That I mean, that venue's washed now because it's like Normies got a hold of it.
Ah, dang.
So they're like, there's a show here this weekend. It's like, nobody wants to go to that. Nobody wants to see you play a weird Coldplay indie set. Okay?
Why not? That was our second show we played like this Halloween festival after Halloween. 2 days after, I think it was 2 days after Halloween. And we opened up. It was like this like festival, and we opened, and it was literally to like the guy who was there doing sound, and like a few of our friends and our girlfriends for this like festival. It was great. I'll never forget it.
When
The people that set it up, because it wasn't even in our city. It was a city north of us, Fort Collins, Colorado.
Oh yeah, I know Fort Collins.
And we went up there, and they were like, "Oh, we didn't know you were coming from Denver. We thought you were from Fort Collins. We usually don't have like like a traveling band open." We're like, "Well, we did."
You want to move us up or?
Yeah, I was like, "Can we play again?" I don't know. It was a cool time. I loved it. I had never played. I hadn't. That was like that was the second time I've ever played live in my life. So that was pretty crazy. I mean, obviously that was just a bunch of people. The first show was at an actual venue with like real people and
Like actual
whatever.
people there?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Not girlfriends.
Right, exactly.
Um, we have a similar thing. Like you get spoiled playing locally because you know people and they'll come out and like
Yeah.
watch you and it's chill, hopefully.
Yeah.
Um, but like when we started playing outside, especially in the States, is very nerve wracking because
Yeah.
usually Canadian bands in hardcore don't get taken as seriously.
Mm.
Um, but we played this fest in Rochester
Oh my gosh.
and the guy did not promote it correctly. And
Oh.
basically we played to, and it was a bunch of bands like from Richmond,
Mhm.
from even North Carolina, there was
Yeah.
a band from Hudson Valley. Our friends came like from Buffalo, not from Buffalo, from like Hamilton, which is outside of
Mhm.
Toronto.
Yeah.
And they like so it was basically every band was from outside of the city.
Yeah.
And like there was like 10 people there.
Oh my gosh.
It was like called spreading the hardcore reality.
Fuck yeah. That's
We
rad.
definitely spread something all over all over those bands.
Yeah, exactly. When we played our set, it was the people that put it together are a really great organization. It was just a bunch of bad things in a row. It was literally like November 2nd. We were playing a Halloween festival. Like we opened it up. It was just too many things.
Yeah.
It was too many things at once.
Yeah, it's I mean that's which I think what y'all are playing is so much more palatable, like the
Yeah.
market for what y'all are doing.
Yeah.
So I think like you'll see a much easier um like incline. I don't know what I'm
Yeah,
trying to say.
yeah. Like kind of like having more of a more intrigue and more like people are going to be just about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
quicker growth. It's
Yeah, because I mean a lot of kind of like there's a lot like this is like there's a bunch of bands that do like just like straight up shoegaze or like whatever. And that's something that like I I always try to kind of like do it a little bit. Like I'm not trying to like do any certain thing, but still kind of aim at in a general area.
mhm.
That's because people have like kind of talked to us about like what our genre and I mean you kind of hit on the head. It's like this like new metal, like this like new gaze thing that's like happening, and we're definitely I think kind of in that air like that realm. But I still try to do it kind of differently. You know what I mean? You kind of try to put your own spin on it because yeah, I like a lot of the bands that are like out right now.
Mhm.
Like we kind of just, I don't know, like the way that we did it, like our producer, his name's Corey Kaufman. He's the singer and guitar player in like half of the band Gleamer. He traditionally hasn't done like a ton of like heavy bands before. Um, like at least I mean I kind of listen to some of the stuff. There's some stuff that is like gets heavy.
Mhm.
But he did like the I don't know if I think he just did the master for like Trauma Ray.
Oh yeah.
That their latest Chameleon, which is amazing. He did like stuff with Downward and a bunch of these like really sick bands, Modern Color. And we didn't like fit into like what he's done before. Like we weren't like doing the stuff that he had done before, and we kind of did that on purpose because he's like straight up like out of like the scene,
Mhm.
like he's like in that era, like or he's in that like that place where he's like still in, like he was talking about some of his favorite like heavy albums of last year, like Candy and
Oh yeah.
which I love Candy, and we're talking about like all the Portrayal of Guilt and a bunch of their a bunch of bands that were like, he was very astute to, but it wasn't like in his portfolio. Like he didn't do like breakdown music or anything like that. And
Right.
that's not what we were doing. So it's kind of like two kind of like different things, because he does a lot of that, like kind of like that shoegaze, like a lot, like a ton of like really great ambient stuff that like I really love. And he had a great sense of kind of the direction we wanted to be. And it's so funny because we had nothing out when he took us on either. That was a crazy thing because we didn't have a presence. We didn't exist when we went to him. Like I just sent him my demos. He's like, okay, like we can do something with this. And I listened to my demos recently, and I'm like, why did he take us on? These are so bad. Like our demos were not good. I was like so stoked on him, and then listened to him after he like got done with them, and I'm like, oh my! Like it was like probably 2 days ago. I listened to him again. I was like, these are so bad.
Damn.
Yeah, he's really great. But we did that though, kind of like of that like that kind of thing too, to be kind of in that realm, not to be like, palatable and like super like listenable, like kind of like what you were saying earlier, but to kind of like get it from that side too, and be like, get some of our musical influence from that side by somebody that really knew what they were doing, and then kind of do what we all kind of do.
Yeah.
Because the guys in our band, they've all been in bands before. Like I said, our guitar player, he was in a like a Midwest emo like band, indie emo band. And our bass player, he was in like uh like a melodic hardcore band back in the day. And our drummer's been in a ton of different things. He's been in a bunch of different like projects, as most drummers are. And
Kind of jazzy.
yeah, they're gonna be like, dude, our drummer is crazy.
It's kind of jazzy.
He's
Yeah.
insane. He is so good. He's insane. He writes things and I'm like, dude, hell yeah. Because I don't come from like a drumming background at all. And when he does stuff, I'm like, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. So
He was like ripping fills. I was like, oh, all right. Okay.
yeah, he's insane. What's funny about him is he got in the band. It was me and our original guitar player put an ad on like Facebook, and like 6 months go by, and like we get like the guy that's like 60. He's like, I'm looking for a cover band. We're like, no,
That ain't it.
no, yeah. And I dead ass like 6 months in, he's like, hey, you guys still need somebody? And we're like, yeah, we do. Like out of nowhere, I thought it was a dead post. He comes in and we're the same age. We're looking at the same exact stuff. We're trying to do the exact same thing. We're into the same bands. We show him the demos and he's stoked on it. It was super crazy. And he's just like, just a straight ripper. He's so good. It was insane. It was like, and he was good at the same time. We're like, holy shit. Like he's like us, likes what we're trying to do. He can write, he can play. And then he's also super talented. So that was great.
Yeah, it's so hard to find people on ads like that.
Dude, I couldn't believe we did it. And then he found us our second guitar player after our other guitar player left the band. So it was just kind of like this like weird combination of people that kind of just came together. But it's great. It's been awesome.
Well, I'm very stoked.
Yes, dude, I'm glad.
I can't wait to see.
Yes, bro. And Bruiserweight, I've been like listening to you guys since like the first time you put something out. Hell yeah.
I feel like we don't sound like that demo anymore at all.
Dude, that the new because it's just a single y'all put out, right? Just one song.
Yeah, because the EP drops on Friday.
It's this next week, yeah. Dude, it's so like it's a more evolved sound like what you're doing now. But like I was getting like shades of like some like early, like not early, but like some like hate breed stuff, but also some like incendiary. I don't know how much.
Incendiary gets thrown because everyone's like, you sound like incendiary. I'm like, that was not the point, but I appreciate
Exactly.
it.
Dude, it's a good thing. It's like I think it sounds great. I love the sound. It's great.
I
It's
appreciate it.
balls to the wall. It's fucking awesome.
I think we're gonna maybe, and this is if anyone is listening and hears this, then you're welcome. But I think we're planning to do a redux of the demo
Of
just
the
to make
first
it
thing,
sound more
like
like
what you are now.
yeah. I listened to it recently. I'm like, oh fuck.
Dude. Yeah. Bro, I'm telling you, when I listened to my demos before, I was like,
I'm
this is
embarrassed.
so bad. I was like, I can't believe I full chested sent this to a guy that knows
Yeah,
what he's
dude, like
doing.
we're
And it was
we're
like,
definitely gonna record like
and he was like, yeah, dude, like whatever. Like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, bro, you guys, I told everyone in the band the other day, I was like, you guys got to go back and listen to him because what the hell? And I'm writing things now and I'm like, oh my God, what was I doing? And I'm like, I at least I think I know a better idea of what's going to happen later on. But
that's you live, you learn, you grow.
yeah,
You live,
yeah,
laugh, love.
right. Exactly. You live, laugh, grow,
Live, laugh,
dude.
grow. Yeah.
You got
Um,
it.
yeah. But I'm excited too. I'm just
Hell yeah.
all around excited.
Yes, dude. Full of stoke. It's
Just
amazing.
everyone's doing stuff. My friends in Crosscheck put a record out
Let's go.
yesterday
Shout
that
out
I,
cross
I
check.
I recorded and mixed it for them.
Dude,
So
hell
sounds
yeah.
fucking
I think I saw that on your Instagram.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
dude,
I'm
that's
very
rad.
excited for them because I think that the songs sound really good and yeah, they're getting a lot of traction.
Dude,
So
I love that. I love it when bands get seen at all. I mean, just for like being good.
yeah,
It's
but
the
they're also
best.
like it's not just like a dude screaming. They have like they got like it's a cool band.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I love it.
If hardcore is anything, it's just a bunch of white dudes screaming about stuff they shouldn't be. So any kind of
Exactly.
any kind of change up or variety there is
Right.
very welcome.
Yeah, exactly. Bring in some color and some flavor.
So
It's greatly appreciated.
it's kind of a sausage party.
Yeah. One less band, one more band. You get you get a gel situation that takes out half of your
Straight gooning, dude.
God. I saw that track that went up on their
Yeah,
Spotify.
the AI track
Oh my God.
is pretty funny.
Somebody did that, like, and now I'm like,
I think it was the guy. I think it was the guitarist that did it.
really?
I
That's
it smells like it.
I don't want to know what that smells like. God. I love gel too. That sucks.
I didn't realize
Um,
that they were on Convulse. I thought
yeah,
that they were
dude.
on Flat Spot.
Convulse, dude. Denver represent.
Oh, is Denver? I didn't know that.
Yeah. We have Convulse is like the big thing here, if I'm not mistaken. It's like the big like hardcore. At least they have something here. Yeah, I think
What's
they're out of here.
the person who runs Convulse has like a hardcore punk band, I think.
Yeah, I can't remember their
I
name.
can't
I can't
remember the
remember
name
their
of it.
name either.
It's like two words.
I swear, I think they got to be from here, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I'm 90% sure they're from here. I could just be talking out of my ass at this point. I don't know. I swear to God, no, they're from here. They're from here because they do a promotion thing too, where they do Convulse Record presents,
Oh,
and
cool.
they promote a lot of the show like heavy shows that come through. Like they did the Tsunami tour. They promoted that with Ingrown and then
Oh
a
yeah,
couple
that's
other like a big band. Like a lot of the heavier or just alternative shows they have their hands in, which is really great.
wait, that was that the Tsunami Ingrown Tirana tour.
I think so. I think
Yeah,
that's who it was. And
I
they
love
because
Tirana.
I don't know if they played Denver, if it was just Colorado Springs, but they did something with it.
I'm a big
Yeah.
I love Tirana.
Yeah, I didn't make it to that tour. I didn't make it to any of those shows. Yeah, they're from here.
I didn't make it to we were on tour during that when it was coming around. So
Yeah, you're gonna have to come through and we'll have to do a bruiserweight post-drum show.
that would be wild. I would just like to see who comes to that. Like you got like little shoegaze kids getting
Yeah,
crowd killed.
dude. My brother, he's 19 now. He is like super into all of it. He's like into both sides, and I'm like, let's go. So I feel like a lot of these kids, they're just like finding hardcore on accident.
Yeah.
They're coming from like shoegaze, and they're like, oh, this is like this other part of it. Obviously, it's not the same thing, but like you know, what I mean, they're transitioning from one to the other.
Mm-hmm.
They're going from like title fight and some of these other like hardcore and hardcore adjacent bands, and then finding their way to like Knocked Loose, which is so awesome, so sick.
Oh man, wait until they find oh, what was I gonna say? I can't remember. I was gonna say like a really violent, like beat down band, but it's fine. My
They're gonna
camera
find,
keeps going out of focus. I feel like it's the lighting. It's
yeah, it's finding it's trying to find you.
pissing me off. It's pissing me off, man. Um, well, Derek,
Yes,
this has been a wonderful time. It's
yes, it has,
like a family reunion.
dude. It really is.
Um,
Gonna have to do this more often.
for real, we'll do a monthly segment where we just like
I'll pop in for a little bit.
just talk about some random thing.
Yeah.
Um, so before we go, let me know what's your favorite city for beans and breakdowns.
Beans and breakdowns. Dude, you know what? I know last time I said LA. You know what? I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna say Denver's where you get your beans and your breakdowns. You know what?
To be true.
You gotta be it. It's us. It's us. We're here.
Hit me.
Yeah.
There's a really famous coffee roaster from Denver.
Oh, I know there's oh my God, who is it? Oh, who is it? It's somebody. Oh my God.
Why is counterculture the first thing that pops up? Beanbox. Corvus.
Corvus, yeah. There.
That's who it is.
Yeah, Corvus is great. They have a bunch of little shops here. They have like four. I might have more than that. They have a ton though. They're great.
They're hyped. They're hyped out here.
Pablo's, Corvus, tons. Corvus is awesome though.
Who's the best heavy band from Denver right now?
Oh, dude, there's some sick bands coming out of Denver right now. Um, oh my gosh. So we're playing a show. It's their first show ever. They're not a heavy band, I guess, but they're called Thornhaven.
Ooh.
Two words. We're playing a show with them in May. They're adjacent. They're like kind of like what we do. Like they're in that same vein. We don't do it the same way or anything, but they're like us. They're a very sick band out of Denver. I'm really stoked to play with them. There's a bunch of bands. I'm blanking on so many.
I can't even off the top of my head think of who I know that's from Denver.
That's yeah, Denver. It's like we have a lot of bands, but we're just waiting to get out of the Denver band era.
Because
There's a
doesn't
bunch of good
Wild
bands.
West Fest happens in Denver? I
Wild.
think.
I know. Is that here?
Oh, Primitive Man.
Primitive Manson? Yeah.
Oh, Time Heist. That's the one I'm
Time
thinking
Heist.
of.
Yes. We are trying to get a show with Time Heist because they are so sick.
Okay, so I found a post on Reddit that was like, "What are some cool Denver bands I'm moving there?" And then the number one thing is Convulse Records
Yeah.
is like a Denver thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Convulse is sick. They, like I said, they do all these sick shows. I'm forgetting some bands. There's a bunch of cool bands. There's definitely a heavy scene here,
Mhm.
but man, I mean, there's like a band called Creek. There's who we got here? Thornhaven, obviously.
Mouth
We're
for
playing
War.
Mouth. Are they from here?
Yeah.
Dang, I didn't know that,
Moral Law.
dude. Yeah, Time Heist was a big one.
Bunch of metalcore bands.
Yeah, yeah. Right. This Denver's got to get it from somewhere.
But the
you know what
good,
I mean?
like good metal, like not like the people who were never into like other
Like
music.
yeah, exactly. They started with like Converge.
But Derek, I'm really stoked for you and postdr0me.
Yes, dude. Appreciate it.
Hopefully we speak sooner than
Of
4
course.
years.
Yeah, dude. We'll make it a thing. I'll check in. We'll do this bruiserweight post drum split.
Yeah, like literally, if that was a split, I feel like it'd be kind of crazy.
I would do it. I'm down, dude. I'd do it in a heartbeat.
But enjoy the rest of your Saturday.
Yeah, dude. You too.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Beans and Breakdowns. I want to say a huge thanks to Derryk for hanging out on the podcast. Be sure to check out the singles from postdr0me, Never Know, and So Inviting. They really sound great, and I'm very excited to hear more music from them. If you've enjoyed the podcast, please subscribe and leave a review. You can find out more information about the podcast by following us on Instagram at Beans and Breakdowns or on the web at beansandbreakdowns.com. Until next week, be sure to stay caffeinated and wake the fuck up.